Thank you for joining us for the 4th Annual Global Summit on Kidney Innovations, Global Kidney Patient Voice, the Key to Accelerating Innovation, a collaborative partnership between the American Association of Kidney Patients and the George Washington School of Medicine and Health Sciences. My name is Kevin Fowler, and I'm a former board member for the American Association of Kidney Patients, and I continue to serve as a AAKP Ambassador for the state of Missouri. I'm also someone living with kidney disease, having received the preemptive kidney transplant in 2004. And based upon my experience of living with the consequences of polycystic kidney disease and facing the reality of kidney failure, my goal was to avoid dialysis by receiving a preemptive transplant. And my hope for all individuals suffering from kidney disease and facing kidney transplant is for them never need to go on dialysis and to receive a preemptive transplant, so that a preemptive transplant becomes more the norm rather than the exception as it is right now. And as a fellow patient advocate, or as a fellow patient, I have a deep passion for patient advocacy and patient engagement in the production and device lifecycle of novel treatments that answer the need and preferences of patients and their families. And those that are going through the journey of kidney disease firsthand, who really know what it's all about. This passion has led me into a career spanning over 30 years in both commercial and research and development roles for commercial enterprises. In addition to my role with the AAKP, I'm also the patient editor for the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology, CJSN. I'm also on the board of directors for the Kidney Health Initiative, which is a public-private partnership between the American Society of Nephrology and the US FDA. KHI has a mission to catalyze innovation and development of safe and effective patient-centered therapies for people living with kidney diseases. And for today's session on Global Kidney Patient Voice, the key to accelerating innovation, industry efforts across the globe advancing kidney patient care, I had the pleasure of conducting a series of interviews with national and global companies in the kidney space that are leading the effort to disrupt the status quo by making an investment in new treatments to address the many unmet needs of people living with kidney diseases, while also working tirelessly to integrate the patients and their unique insights along the way. In full disclosure, based upon my professional background working with life science companies, I have consulted for some of the organizations that I have interviewed. I enjoyed speaking with all these industry representatives across the globe and ask you to join me in watching excerpts of these interviews. Full interviews will be available post-Global Summit on demand on AAKP's social media platforms and YouTube channel. Thank you, and I hope you're just as inspired listening to these discussions as I was conducting them.
I think that perhaps the most important piece of the research agenda and thinking about bringing new therapies to the pharmacy shelf should begin and end ultimately with the patient. This is so important. There are so many ways that patients can inform successful clinical trials and successful research activities. And that truly is to become self-advocates, to learn and educate themselves on everything they know, can know about their kidney disease, and really being primed to stay on top of what's happening. As you know, the pipeline is exploding right now. There's so many exciting, innovative opportunities out there for patients, and their ability to plug into those opportunities, to be aware, whether that be connecting with a patient advocacy organization, asking questions, arming themselves with the resources and knowledge, but also connecting to a community where they can learn from others who've been living with these conditions or diseases for a long time, and finding that emotional support goes a long way in helping patients feel confident and having the ability to know where to go and to self-advocate when they go into those doctor's appointments, to ask their doctors about clinical trials, to talk to their doctors about a potential new therapy that they heard about in a Facebook group or on social media or through one of their advocacy organizations that they're connected with. So I would say self-advocacy and connectivity are two of the most important ways patients can really contribute to successful research and innovation out there. I've had the great fortune over about 10 years of connecting with many, many kidney patients and their loved ones, where I've learned that sometimes there is a disconnect between physicians and researchers and their agendas around research as compared to the patients. Sometimes I find that researchers are obviously and rightly, appropriately so, very concerned with the science and cures. And that may not always align with the priorities of the patient and what matters to the patient. So this could be things that are of great physical benefit to patients, medications, therapies, treatment regimens, where we're seeing an improvement in lab values and kidney health and how the kidney is doing overall. But maybe those medications and treatment paths and plans don't always make a patient feel well or feel good. And this is something where I think getting patients involved early and often in clinical development, pre-clinic even, to really understand the patient journey, the priorities, their existing pressures and pain points, can really help further along smart research and research that potentially will be better received and well received by the patient community down the road. So looking to patients as partners, whether it be in how you're designing a trial or looking to patients to understand truly how they feel and how their disease impacts them on a day-to-day basis, can really go a long way in setting up a research project or a clinical trial. So at Travere Therapeutics, we have successfully enrolled 2 phase 3 clinical trials for IgA nephropathy and FSGS for a therapy that is known as sparsentan. The DUPLEX and PROTECT studies have been enrolled. And earlier this year, we filed a new drug application with the FDA that was accepted, and we were granted accelerated approval with a potential action date of mid-November to see a new potential therapy for patients with IgA nephropathy known as sparsentan. And so that's really where Travere is right now in our glomerular disease, rare kidney programs. But behind that is really this notion of looking at prevention of kidney disease progression and helping patients out there, rare kidney patients, keep their native kidneys, extend their kidney health by swimming upstream and getting diagnosed earlier and finding new treatment options that will help patients, again, enjoy a better quality of life and help protect their kidneys over time to delay disease progression.
I'd like to thank again the vast number of industry partners that took the time to sit down and have a discussion with me. Through AAKP Global, launched in 2019, AAKP is engaged globally because we are committed to educating patients, leaders, and companies across the globe on the importance of kidney disease prevention, new innovations in treatment, and the opportunity to save more lives. We believe that a united patient voice can drive innovation and the policy decisions that determine timely regulation and payment for new and safe treatments. Globally, AAKP is working with patients, medical professionals, researchers, and medical industry allies, such as those you just heard from, to cultivate a united consortium led by patients. AAKP believes that this global consortium can advance innovation and change kidney care in countries where health systems or infrastructures do not support patient-consumer choice or access to care treatments. Again, thank you to each of our industry partners for sharing with us the innovations their companies are working on or has available to improve kidney care from prevention and diagnosis to transplantation or access to care treatments.